See, it's happening. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Bud Crawford has not signed with the PBC or whoever. You know, I'm not sure where these narratives come from, but you know how we do. Before we get into it, we're gonna turn to. Welcome. Sorry for the dogs walking. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. Thank you guys for joining me. I know I've been gone. Some of you guys probably been missing me. Some of you guys said, "Oh," but I've been gone. I've been doing a good deed. Let me put this link in the chat. Actually, we'll start out by talking about my favorite thing, which is water check. Water check. I didn't get all the water I need to drink per day in today because I just didn't. I got back in town yesterday. When I'm about to leave out of town, I don't really say nothing. But when I come back, I'll tell you all about my trip or whatever. And the only reason I do that is because you never know who watching or not. So I went out of town, went up the road a bit, see my mom to do an early Mother's Day gift. And I actually bought my mom a 2022 Kia Soul. And my mom is in her 70s and she has never owned a brand new car in her life. Never. Even growing up, we never had a car. So I just felt like, the car she was driving was causing a lot of problems. She was putting too much money in it. And I lied a lot to her. I was like telling her all kinds of stuff. She had no clue that I got her that car. And I rolled it up there, gave it to her. She was so happy. I got it on film and everything, but I got a lot of good feedback. So thank you, Facebookers. Everybody in my Facebook know what happened because they saw the live. It was funny. She was so happy. She teared up afterwards too. She dropped some tears, a little bit of tears. It wasn't uncontrollably, sobbing and nothing. But like I said, we grew up poor. My mom never had a brand new car. Never. And I'm glad I was able to do it. And God gave me the opportunity to make that happen. So, shout out to my mama. She, like I said, it was priceless. She wanted to drive everywhere. I just got up the road And she like, let's go around the corner. I was like, man, I'm tired. Can I please go back to the house? She like, oh, she cooked, boy. You can't stay there long neither. Mom, what is that? Mom Dukes be cooking. Man, can she cook? Oh my God. I was like, I can't be up at this house. Come back 500 pounds, man. She can cook her ass off. But she was driving around. Of course, I'm telling her do's and don'ts. But see, she the mama, I'm the child. So after a while, you keep telling your parents do's and don'ts. They gonna get tired of that shit, right? Ronald Finkley is in a building. He said, blessings, boxing fans talking. Thank you. So I was just happy that I could do that for her. She ain't got to worry about nobody taking it back from her or anything like that. Because it's not like she hadn't driven a car or nothing. It's just, she just never had a car. And the one time, I think that we had a new car, and I was like under 10 years old. It was like there today, gone tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It was just, it never lasts. We never, like if my mom had to go grocery shopping, she had to catch a city bus to somewhere, nowhere near where we live. And we didn't really have a real cab company where I'm from. I would call them jitneys. Some of y'all know what jitneys are. It's people, kind of like the old school way of Ubering. And she would like do major grocery shopping, and then she would catch a cab back to the house, and that's how we got groceries. Other than that, we had our feet, and we caught the city bus when we had money. But most of the time, we walked everywhere. That's how life was for Miss T growing up. Detail Blasters in a building was Papa T. Hey, Miss T, who do I owe my payment to? ATL, and I don't know if you betted Birdman. Let me look, because I know I wrote it down. I know you owe ATL. He was looking. I don't know his cash app. Hope I wrote that down. Oh yeah, I know his. I'm gonna write it in the. I'm gonna write it down in the what you call it, because normally he would come in, but I've been gone, so I don't know. Let me see. ATL Charlotte. That was something he called him out, huh? See, I ain't for sure. Because I wrote it down with 2 Y's. But this is the only thing I have written down in the book. You had a bet with ATL and Birdman, and I think it was $100 bet that they wouldn't say. You wouldn't say what you got. He wouldn't say or call out insurance name. But D-Town, I'm absolutely, I'm thinking I'll hear from him today. But if I don't, I will definitely get back with you on the actual, what you call him. I don't know his email, or I don't have his text to ask him, is this the right, cash app for this ATL and Birdman? D-Town Blaster said, forgive my manners. How are you today, young lady? I'm great. Thank you for asking. WJ Luckett is in the building. He says, salute Queen T. The hate for Bud is real in these streets. Yes, it is. Ronald Finkley said, WJ Luckett was popping, bro. Yeah, they like Smith's body work. Way too much. Crawford gonna nullify that bull crap. Indeed. D-Town Blaster said, thank you, gorgeous. I appreciate you. Hey, D-Town, you had a right to believe that he won't call his name. Because I didn't believe it was neither. Somebody must have told him about y'all bet. Al Heyman, throw a monkey wrench in your shit. Like, I only say his name. But I'm gonna talk about Fury right quick. I ain't gonna be long with it, and then I'm gonna go right into this Bud narrative I want some people to come through so I can once again reiterate and debunk some things. But Tyson Fury and White, I didn't even get to see that fight. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't get to see the fight because I wasn't home. As I say, I went back home to Virginia, and I don't stay when I go out of town. I always talk about stuff when I get back because you never know. You just never know who's watching your house. And my daughter was still here, so I was like, I'll say something when I get back. So I ain't post nothing or whatever. But I went up there for an early birthday, Mother's Day gift for my mom. I bought her 2022 Kia Soul. My mama in her life has never had a brand new car, never. And she been driving a Nissan Altima that's 25 years old, damn near 300,000 miles on it. Be breaking down and getting stranded, and I'm way down here in Georgia, so I'm like, I can't listen to another car story of hers. I was like, I gotta do something. So that's what I did. And she was shocked because I lied to her the whole time. And I got it on film. I went live on Facebook. And I want to say, to my Facebook is thank you for the feedback. I know a lot of my friends have lost their mother. And so I was getting feedback like I was crying and smiling at the same time. My mom was beside herself. She couldn't believe it because she never had that. How do you get to be the age of 70 and that has never happened to you? So I just did that. I hooked my mom up or whatever. I could have went and got me another car, which I don't need. But I was like, nah, this time it's Big Cent turn. So I just hooked my mom up and she happy. So that's all that matters. D-Town Blaster said, but he didn't. The interviewer asked him what's next. And he called D-Town, he actually said, I want the Undisputed or something. He actually said, what's his name? He actually said Bud's name. Detail said I should have been more specific. My mistake. True. I gave ATL his flowers right away because even though I think they stopped the fight prematurely, but now Birdman told me the bet was a knockout period, so I should have won. But ATL felt like it was, regardless however they stopped the fight, that's how it got to be. But I'm not gonna haggle that. They stopped the fight and it's ruled as a technical knockout, so I went ahead and paid them. Ronald Finkler said, "Happy for your mom. It's nice to have a new vehicle." Indeed, I've had 11 of them. Ronald Finkler said, "Reminds me of my great aunt. She had the brand new Lincoln off the showroom floor. She was a DC school teacher." Yeah, we was just poor, man. Like, we was, I remember them days. If your trusty feet couldn't get you nowhere, you'd be lucky if you had some money to catch the bus. And this is back then when bus fare was 60 cents and 5 cents for a transfer. I don't even know how much bus fare costs now. It ain't like we lived in a metropolis, so buses was far and in between. But that's what we had to catch. My mama had to catch a city bus to a grocery store, not in our neighborhood, just to go groceries because they had cabs outside that would take you home. And them damn cabs would be there. That shit was dangerous. Cab drivers, back then they kept cash though. There'd be a fool to come out there where we live. Ronald Finkler said exactly. So she just was like, I wish I could play the video. She cried. She was like, oh, and she's like, oh my gosh, she was shaking her hand. It was funny. It was weird. But I'm glad. I said, let me leave because I'm bossing her too much. Y'all like, don't do this and don't do that. I said, man, let me get out of here. I gave it to her, let me go. So I came on back. I was trying to stay up there, but I couldn't figure out her computer system to get into my show. So I was like, nah, I gotta do better. So like when I go out of town, I just don't stop, what I'm doing. But right now I have no device to sign into. Not even my phone. I can't figure this shit out. Like, I eventually figure it out. But Ronald Finkley said, I think bus systems is free these days because of the Rona. It might be. I don't know. Yogi said, it's been over 20 years since I caught the bus. Yogi is in a building with Poppy Queen. Hello, Miss T, aka bestest daughter in the world. Ain't that what my mama said? She said, you the bestest daughter in the world. She said, this weekend you the top. I said, now who your favorite? And she playing with me. She called my brother name. But we all know, Ma, that Vale is your favorite. That's my brother. You know that. You the baby and your favorite. Laugh out loud, stopping by to show my support. Thank you. Ronald Finkley said, awesomeness at Yogi. She laughing. Yes. She said, well, you know, that's them. I'm like, she said, I'm just playing. He said, this weekend, you can't do no wrong talk about me, right? But then I looked at the camera. I said, she lied. Dale is her favorite. That's her favorite. Sir Ed Bo is in a building with Bobby King. Was that a picture of Sprints running from, that's supposed to be Crawford running from the shark? Man, Ed Bo, you got it backwards. Yogi said, laugh out loud, Ronald Finkley. But, yeah, right quick. I ain't watched the Fury fight. I won't go watch it. I won't pay for shit. Basically, I heard Fury outboxing. I saw some highlights. White was missing a lot of shots, and Fury was making a pay. When you miss, you gotta pay. So Fury just outboxed him. From what I hear, White wants a rematch. Frank Warren and them is laughing like, nah, bro, you ain't getting nothing. All this bullshit you took us through. They claim they sold out 93%. 93,000 people in that arena. They was there. That's good for them. And talk about the pay-per-view numbers. You ain't said shit over here. I bet you. But now, speaking of pay-per-view numbers, I'm gonna give y'all a glimpse of that too. We're gonna get into this thumbnail. Sir Ampo said, what up? What's good? What's up, King? Ronald Finkley said, keep fam close. Sactamundo. Sir Ampo laughing. Ronald Finkley said, stadium was packed. Okay, now, what's this shit? I go away for like 4 fucking days, and I'm hearing this narrative that Terrence Crawford either signed a 3-part deal or 2-part deal, and he asking for a tune-up. Why people gotta lie? You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. I was like, how many times do people gotta show the receipts of the actual business that Terrence Crawford finds himself in, or who he signed up with? I told y'all the first person that did it is my big bro over there, the Mac Mob, you know, aka the Undertaker. He fucking put out the information and showed receipts. I hope I did a good job by reiterating what he said. I came with some receipts too. I showed y'all what Terrence is doing. To say he's doing something else is just lying. My question is, why? Why lie? We can all hope and wish that he do certain things. Like some people out there hope he do sign with the BBC because they see that's the only way. Then a nigga like me, I don't see that shit. Ronald Finkley said, wow, you saw something crazy like that? Yeah, some folks, I don't call no names, that's pushing that narrative. I have people calling me like, what you guys say to that? You know, not in a mean way, but like, what's up with that? Why would Terrence Crawford say he need a tune-up after he said, let's get it? Why would a man who been asking for 4 and 5 years now all of a sudden want a tune-up? I already told y'all and showed y'all who was ducking between the two. You know, it's up to y'all whether y'all want to believe it or not. I just showed you the receipts. Ronald said, let me guess who it probably was. These bud haters. You can say that. You can say that. They do, some of them do come off like they hate the motherfucker. But even still, even if you hate them, I mean, like, when you still can report on them, long as it's the truth. You can't have a story and then there's the truth, and I show you, and people show you receipts. Not that I'm Barbara Badass or nothing, but I don't talk out the side of my neck. I show you the receipts. The Mac Mob didn't talk out the side of his neck. He damn sure showed you the receipts. Matter of fact, I felt like I was in a college seminar watching that shit. I tell y'all need to go over there because they ain't gonna just talk out the side of their neck. They gonna show y'all the receipts. But then some people talk and say things, they'll show you the first receipts. It's what they want, what they hope. We can't live on the wish and hope factor. We're not them. I don't know Terrence Crawford. I've met him twice. I'm not around him every day. I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know how his thinking is or what he gonna do. I can tell you what he done recently. Ronald Finger say they like putting words in Crawford's mouth, but Spence can tell you the truth. But Spence can tell you the truth, and it's explaining comes right into effect. Look at my bro, E Thriller, the Black Picasso. Y'all make sure y'all take a second of your time and go sub up to my boy E Thriller, the Black Picasso, because he paints the picture with his words, real vivid like, and he show you receipts. So when E Thriller show you the receipt and the Mac Mob show you the receipt of the business that Terrence Crawford just did, how can you then come out with a narrative that's so contrary to what receipts show? You don't even like Terrence Crawford. You act like you hate him, but he gonna tell you his personal business. I love the nigga. He don't tell me shit. Make that make sense to anybody out there. Everything they said about Terrence Crawford, they was wrong. We just showed y'all the Mac Mob better than me. I reiterated, showed you who the nigga signed up with. I'm talking Terrence Crawford. Just showed you what's coming down the pipeline. And I'm about to show y'all niggas again. Because some people didn't understand the assignment. E Thriller said, don't you know the documents don't matter, Miss T? They gonna say you hating for telling the truth. Salute. Exactamundo. Ronald Finkley said pictures painted so vividly. E Thriller, the Black Picasso. Already. Andrew Charles is in the building with Poppy King. Salute, Miss T. So I was like, what? Here I am. I stepped away from the computer for 4 or 5 days, and I come back to this nonsense. How many times y'all gonna keep pushing this narrative that this nigga Terrence Crawford want to sign with the PBC? Do the PBC need Terrence, or do Terrence need the PBC? Y'all tell me. I don't think the Terrence need the PBC. E Thriller said, what up, and Ron, salute, man. I don't think Terrence need the PBC. If he needed the PBC, then why the fuck did he sign with Intro Box? Make sure y'all hit the like button, share, subscribe, and only subscribe if you haven't already. If you already have, don't worry about it. In the Facebook, all my cousins, stop reckless eyeballing, coming to YouTube, hit that like and share button. And when I drop a video and y'all looking at me in the replay, leave a comment. I'ma still be me. But I am open-minded. I can learn something too. But don't come with the rah-rah. Because I don't follow idiots. And I don't follow liars. So that's all I can say. And I don't have to tell you that's what you are. I just ignore you. That's how I handle that shit. But yeah, I got people calling me talking about what's up with Terrence. talking about he need to tune up. In what motherfucking world? In what world does this happen? The nigga been begging for 4 years. We already know there's a handful of people that's got their hands dirty as to why this man don't get a fight. We already know how PBC feel about Terrence Crawford. I even went a step further than some of my peers, and I said, wait a minute now. If PBC feels that way about Terrence Crawford, that they had no intentions in the past, present, or future to strike a deal with this nigga, did they ever tell Earl Spence this? Inquiring minds want to know, like me. You know why I want to know? Because now, if they have explained that to Earl Spence, then what the fuck was Earl doing all these past 4-5 years? Was he lying to his fans? I mean, think about it. If PBC is who you work with, right? PBC is who pays for your fights. So that's kind of like your boss in a little bit, according to me. But we'll say who you work with. You don't get a fight unless they put up the money. They tell you, nigga, we ain't never gonna give money for the see Terrence Crawford fight you. Ever. And Earl Spence walked around for 4-5 years knowing this shit or not. That's the question of the century for me. And I don't think I would get that answer, but I'm sure is curious. I sure is curious. Ronald said, I'm giving PBC to make the negotiations. Whoever he signs to 5-city tour should be mandatory also for the fight to break 500,000 buys. See, I'm going to show y'all what a nigga didn't even do that right. He did worse than what he did before. But that's the pay-per-view star. He got, 240,000? Let me go ahead and drop that receipt. Let me see. I found that by accident. I wasn't even looking for it, All I'm going to say is, look at God. That's all I'm going to say. Look at God. Okay, first of all, Ronald Fickner said Spence ain't making it to the next level without Crawford. So first of all, just to put things in perspective, hold on. Capsule Full G, what's poppin', King? He said, hey, Lady T. The Mac Mob Big Bro, what's poppin', King? Salute, Miss T. Hit that like button for the Queen. Thank you, bro. Salute to the chat. Yo, Mac Mob, E Thriller, Caps, and all y'all, I step away for 4 days. I come back to this bullshit narrative. So I said, let me put stuff in perspective. PGA's Big Dog is in a building with Bobby King. Salute, Queen T. Now look at this. I didn't know this. I heard, but I said, let me look it up. Let me see. So AT&T Stadium hosts 80,000 people. And they say in the stands, but can be expanded to more than 100,000 when standing room only areas are included. Okay. And y'all bragging about nearly 40,000? Why the fuck did you have it there if you can't even fill it up? But I'm supposed to clarify and quantify and not qualify a certain fighter as a pay-per-view star or just a person that put asses in seats. Ain't that what Michael Irvin said? Michael Irvin, when you played in that stadium, I don't know nothing about football, but I'm assuming I think he was a Cowboy. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Michael Irvin was, and I'm thinking he played in that stadium. When I will fumble through the damn channel, because I ain't stopping on no goddamn football. It's like sometimes watching paint dry for me. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all like football. I like it too. I just can't watch this shit every time. But I'm fumbling through the channels when the Cowboys play and the shit be filled up. Michael Irvin, you put asses in the seat. Earl Spence didn't put no asses in the seat. They didn't say he had 40,000. They said nearly 40,000. So y'all bragging about that shit. Why you just didn't have it at an arena that can hold about that much or less? There's plenty of places that he can have a fight where it holds about that much. Why? Why? I mean, that's like, I'm sorry, y'all. That's like putting a Tic Tac in the stadium. I mean, it's half full, it's half filled. Ronald Finger said that tickets get cheap. I'm sure they did. They probably was giving them away. I heard Gates $5 million. You know, the light speed is in a building. Salute King. But they said nearly 40,000. They didn't say 40,000. So nearly could have been anywhere from 31 to 39. See what I'm saying? They're not gonna report on numbers unless they break records. You know that, right? You know that's something else. But that's how that goes. Okay? So y'all see, I didn't make this up. I didn't make this up. I don't got shit to do with football stadium. It holds 80,000. Girls probably had nearly 40. That means he's carrying the ticket because it's never been a pay-per-view star. It's never been on pay-per-view to my knowledge. So that was supposed to be all of Earl's fans. And shout out to Earl for getting that much in one state. That in New York, do it in Vegas. Can you do it in Atlanta? Can you do it in Cali? That's the question. You know you can do it in Texas because Texas is so hard for them people like that. That's just what it is. Most Texas. And most Texas be biased. I'm sorry. Sorry, Texas. I have never been to. But a lot of Texans, that's something we know about. And it's almost how you guys rep the from where you're from. It's just a beautiful thing at times. But then it kind of obscure because the biasness or the logic that goes out the window. That's the part I be bumming with. So, it's all good. So y'all are fans, y'all are fans. But that's the first thing I want to do. Let me close down over the next that was. With your nookie nookie. Now, what does that say? This is Uga, 140,000 sold. And again, I'm just thinking, it's on the, you know, I Googled and it came up. Actually, I was Googling something else. And came up, you know, and I was like, oh, so that's something. I wasn't even thinking I was going to find an answer. I do think it's kind of slow to be put out. So that makes me think it's actually less than that. But we'll go with their number. We'll go with that number. You know, that it was 240,000. So let's say 240,000 pay-per-views sold. The Saturday's tournament in Arlington, where Errol Spence Jr. won your Dana Lucas by TKO in the 10th round, unified 3 welterweight championships. Now, it goes on to say, okay, so I'm going to pull this one up. So, American journalist Mike Coppinger reported on the results of the pay-per-view sales. Nearly 40,000 people watched Mike live. Profits from pay-per-view and ticket sales exceeded 20 million. In his next fight, Spence Coolface turns Crawford. Last fight was also shown in USA on pay-per-view. Crawford's November tour with Sean Porter sold 190,000 tickets. Thought it was 130. I thought everybody said it was 130. First they said it was 190. Then they came back and said it was 130. But I'm sure most Spence fans like to say 130. So what is the big thing like between 240,000 pay-per-view buys versus 190 for the same daylight. Sound like y'all understand? If Bud is not a paper starting, the hell is Spence? So y'all need to get that shit straight. Y'all need to fix that. But at the end of the day, who cares? Them together could be big. But I knew he was going to do the numbers that he wanted to do. I just PBC put their foot in their mouth. You know, I was a person who wanted to fight for God. And hell, he made me have balls, plus my pearls, and back the fuck up. So, I knew it was going to happen. So, let me show you something else. Like that narrative that's out there. And y'all know it's y'all favorite person. I heard the back out had a report on him just lying. You know what I'm saying? I decided to say, okay, who owns Fox Sports? Y'all see that to make sure that it's showing up there. It is. But easy search. Say Fox Sports International and International Sports Programming and Production Entity of Walt Disney Company. Previously owned by Fox Networks until Disney's acquisition of most 21st Century Fox assets, which distributes sports programs to various countries. So that's who owns Fox. Well, who owns ESPN? It popped up. ESPN is an American international basic cable sports channel owned by ESPN Inc., owned jointly by the Walt Disney Company. Look at that Walt Disney guy again, and the Hearst Communications. So it sounds like Walt Disney Boston out here. Flex. So we see who owns those things. And let's go back. Intro Fox promoter claims he assigned Terrence Crawford and Logan Paul. Okay. This has been backtracked even already. And Valley Sports posted this tweet later in the evening, which makes it clearer that Crawford has a partnership to promote fights with Intro Fox. And the only thing they can actually say about Crawford possibly fighting for Intro Fox, anything's possible. Rocky Livingston, Valley Sports, Olago, that Terrence Crawford is in the partnership with Intro Fox on fight. As far as Crawford's fight on the Intro Fox card in the future, that said, anything's possible. Intro Fox promoter Ron Johnson made his claim tonight that his company has signed terms with Crawford and Logan Paul, among others, during a Valley Sports boxing program or broadcast. And look at Valley Sports. It's their logo, you guys. A message. Welcome to at Terrence Crawford and Esther Bravo. Oh. So y'all see that, right? In the hours since this was posted at this time, the only interaction on Twitter was coming from a verified official Valley Sports account is a piece of Sandy Jando, this is content producer for Valley Sports. Neither Crawford nor Paul have made a tweet about this, and Crawford is actually active on Twitter at the moment. He also did not deny it. He sent messages to Crawford saying about the announcement, and we'll let you know if we hear back. I think Crawford has since confirmed that, but either way, he did not deny it. And these are official documents. So, I mean, whenever y'all do put out shit for Crawford either ignores you or he has to come back and not. It's not two-part, three-part deal, like all that stuff before. And now, old boy is putting out that three-part fight. and asking for the lies of it all, the nerves still that people fucking have. This would be a baby that comes through there completely from out of nowhere. That's rare in boxing, especially for something that is now about making money fighters like Crawford and other cases, and other distractions like Paul. Johnson also claimed he is not yes, and that's the problem. And also worked with others that Johnson helped without president like the first Johnson himself, 5-time world champion. But I had a video where I showed you the breakdown of Disney acquiring Bally's and Sinclair and Introbox and how all of them married each other. And that Disney had 90 days to figure something out. Sorry, the Mac mom said you're breaking up, Queen. I hope I'm clear. Said the mic is a little funky. Sorry, y'all. I put this out before. The Mac mom put it out. You know, we showed you that Terrence Crawford signed with Introbox. We showed you that Introbox is signed with Bally's. We showed you that Bally's is now Fox Sports. We showed you that Fox owns Fox Sports, which owns Bally's. We showed you all this. But the narrative still comes up that he signed this three-part deal where he asked him for a tune-up. And what kind of shit is this? What kind of lazy ass shit is he trying to do? Y'all know who he is. Y'all have mentioned his name in here before. But I was shocked y'all that you gotta say to that. I gotta say, bullshit, Alano. That's what the fuck I gotta say. Bullshit, Alano. Terrence Crawford ain't signing with the fucking BBC. Not in my opinion. Could he? He could. He can do anything he wants. But in my opinion, he ain't signing with no motherfucking BBC. And y'all gotta tell me, do the BBC need Fox or do Fox need the BBC? The BBC is supposed to be a stable of fighters with a manager at the top, Al Heyman, and a group of people who put up the money so they can fight. Where the fuck does that say that PBC is a network? And last time I checked, you need a network to showcase your fighters. But I've showed y'all how Terrence signed with Introbox. And I showed y'all how Introbox is signed with Bally's. And Bally's with Sinclair. And all of that owned by Disney. I showed y'all that shit. And I showed y'all what he said partnership. I'm not even going to use the word ownership. Same fucking thing. But I ain't even use the word ownership. Because that might fuck up some fans out there. Girl fans or whoever to get that. That might make y'all feel a little bit. That's a boss, nigga. That's a motherfucking boss. Put some respect on motherfucking Terrence Crawford's name. Y'all coming out here with these lies. That's what here we are in the midnight hour and still making up lies. Why, pray tell? Why? What is the sole purpose? If these dudes gonna chop it up and mix it up, we don't need a lie. We just need to wait for it. Ronald Finkley said, I really can't trust an entity like the BBC. The face is a black man, but he never has to answer to nobody. All we ever see is stock photos from motherfucking Al Heyman. We don't even know if this nigga real. Stock photos. That's what they are. I mean, that's what I'm starting to feel like. You know, I'm assuming he's real. But shit. How many times you gonna look at the same photo? the girl and Bud have fought with no partner because Bob wasn't doing his job. But Bob's hands ain't the only one who got shit on his fingers. He got shit on their fingers too. The question is, was girl in concert with each other, or was BBC acting like a lone wolf, not telling their fighters technically should be the boss? All the fighters should be boss because your managers and promoters work with you. But a lot of people like to blame their boss while they spending another man's money. That don't work like that. So who at BBC is the boss? But Tim let you know who that was. I just want to know the Earl knows. I ain't gonna wait on the answer. I ain't gonna hold my breath. But I figure one day you might get that answer. Did you know Earl how he felt? And if you knew, why you carry on like Crawford wasn't holding it up? And even if you say I didn't say Crawford holding it up, but the fans were saying it and you did nothing to quell that. You did nothing to stop that. You poured fuel on fire at times. And you know who was in the way. Because I swear to God, if it ever come out, if an email gets leaked that they told motherfuckers Smith 4 years ago, we ain't never paying for currency. You might get that fuck out your mind right now. Ooh. Ooh. That's all I can say. What we gonna think about the shit then? What we gonna say then? That's how I see it, y'all. That's how I see it. I'll put the link in the chat if y'all want to drop and say something. I know, look, I'm gonna apologize once again for being gone. I gotta get better at being able to sign in even when I'm not at home. I was kind of vague about the fact that but now that I'm back, I can happily say my mother was very happy with the gift that I gave her. And we're going to get into something on Mother's Day on her own. I'm happy now. I think my daughter got something fun when next week or whatever Mother's Day. But, you know, I did go up there. I stocked her. I bought her a brand new car, y'all. My mama never had one. She's 70 years old. Never. It wouldn't feel like to have a brand new car. And she was driving in the car, but she would break it down, and she would have to tell her brother, hey, follow me, or stay by your phone in case I break down. No woman in that predicament have a phone. Somebody who's elder. So I made a command decision. Fuck it. Let me go on and hook you up with this big sense. She know I'm playing when I say big sense. So, we gotta say mama. You know, Ronald Fink said BBC had them great beginnings for poster of all the up and coming boxers, but they went wrong by not making AB there to fight. Friends talk, you know. They went wrong when they started being greedy. I'm telling you, sometimes certain businesses shouldn't be intermingled with other businesses. You might be a great businessman in a lot of areas, but being a hedge fund person does not make you good in life. Because now you only care about money, and the real people putting their lives on the line. That's what it is. You can't just perform. You know what I'm saying? But to these investors, that's all they must do. So that's why they could be having problems with money on. But somehow they can find $40 million to give the Canelo and 10 to his opponent. Somehow they can do that. And as I've advocated for Earl Smith, if it's a big fit, all that, at BBC, why the fuck they can't be 2 digits in a million with big fans? That I can't understand. If you the pay-per-view star, you see how narratives make you put your foot in your motherfucking mouth? You the pay-per-view star, why in the fuck are you 250 $100,000 pay-per-view. How he trying to say, I'll wait. I will fucking wait. Somebody tell me. Somebody let me know. Pay my damn boy. How the motherfucking how you get 240? He not even cracking no nothing. He ain't breaking no records. So all these shit, all these years for a motherfucker that can't even really really. Then I act like it's so much daylight, girl. But Earl's a great fighter. Did his job, like, but the dog seeing Earl, same dog about to see her. I get tired of this. You know, he had a car accident, he came back. You guys pedalized, man. Like, yeah, I said I made a motherfucking word. Put him on the pedal, pedalized. Got thrown from the car. Okay, he did. Thank God that he was able to, you know, live through that and not have nothing really, really serious. But if we don't talk about that, let's talk about how he got shot in the back of his head at point blank and came back. That was a pound for the last 4-5 years. Number one and number two. Undisputed at 140, unified at 135, and champion at 147. Where did he do that at? Only person I know who did some shit like that is Crawford. But he did not put that up on the pedestal. Terrence was because he wasn't living his best life to get into a situation like that. He took the lesson, as Earl took his lesson, and you move on from there. But I ain't finna penalize Terrence because he got shot in the fucking head. The same way I don't want to hear about penalizing Earl because he got thrown from a car. Shit happened. I don't know how that makes it better. I said, what's worse? Getting shot in the back of the head or being thrown from the car? Yeah, bitch, I said, Bud, it's not yes, and then Spence fight. It ain't Bud, it's the boy Spence. It ain't Bud. So the thriller, like Picasso, look at chapter 116. They short clips. Break it down, showing how it's not Bud. Even when y'all see it in the face of seeing it. Even in the face of seeing it. You guys would say, y'all act like y'all didn't see it. Everybody telling me my mic is nice. It's on. Maybe I need to lean into it. Lean back. I was leaning back. You guys will see that you staring in your face and you disregard it. That's called bias. I'm not saying you go to jail for bias, but it's hard to make an assessment off of bias. Feelings. You know, like I said, I stepped away and I hear this nonsense. Bud ain't asked for no damn tune-up. That's a lie, y'all. Bud ain't signed with me. To my and what I know, that's a lie. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and say I'm wrong. I showed you guys the receipt. The Black Mom told you. Even Black White Man told you guys Bud signed with Introbox. Now, how the fuck does that turn into him signing with BBC use Fox Sports for their fight? Now, Bud is partnership with Fox Sports, aka Valley Sports now. So tell me again who he is. PBA said What are you talking about? Bud doing abs business. Maybe that's business. Who he gonna blame this time? How about Bud is signed with intro box? Yeah, you saw my video. You saw my videos. I don't know who abs is. You saw bad business. No, he not. He ain't doing bad business the first time. I don't know how you guys think he did bad business. He was paid more than every other welterweight. I don't know how that is a thing. Okay, you guys, said my mic is messed up. Am I clear? Am I clear, you guys? I'm sorry if the mic is messed up. I thought I was over here cooking. Can y'all hear me now? It sounds clear in my headphones. Turn that. Can y'all hear me now? He said way better. Okay, but I don't know how Bud do bad business when he got paid more than any other welterweight, guaranteed money the whole time. Better than Spence. Spence just got 1.5 million guaranteed. Bud has made way more than that. Lightspeed said way better. He said sounds muffled. Yeah, Mr. I think it cleared up. I hope it's cleared up for you, PPA. Ronald said, hear you now. Hear you great now. Man, I did some hellified cooking. Y'all saw what I put up though, right? I mean, how many times I gotta say or show you guys who he actually signed with before we accept it? But y'all who say that he signed with PBC offer no receipts at all. None. Then you say he was gonna fight Keith Thurman, but he turned it down. Then you say he was everything that you guys say he did hasn't materialized. It hasn't materialized as of yet. Then you say he won a tune-up fight. Where? When? Tell me where on IG or what social media am I gonna find Bud saying out his mouth, I want a tune-up? I show you this boy is partnership with what we used to call Fox Sports, which will now be called Valley Sports. And last time I checked, PBC need them. PBC fights for Valley. They put their fights on Valley. And Bud is partnership with them? Bad business? I think not. Ronald Finkley said, if Canelo don't have to sign long-term Crawford shit also. Exactly. Them two have been 1 and 2 for the last five years on pound for pound list. But we can't extend Bud no courtesy. DPA said, let's not do this pocket watching crap. Spence just packed the Cowboy Stadium. I don't know what you call packed. I just showed you how many people can sit in that stadium. 80,000. He didn't get 40. He got nearly 40. Nearly 40 is not 40. It doesn't matter. Bud needs to stop doing this BS and make them damn fight. If Spence is the A side, then Spence need to make the fight. You guys got to decide if he's the A side or not. Because if Bud make the fight, Spence getting a lower cut. That logically will happen. Not that I care about money, but y'all care about money. If Bud have to put up the money for the fight, Spence has got to get paid less. If y'all gonna turn around and say, but he got 3 belts, then be a damn leader, Spence. Make the motherfucking fight. You can't be the big fish and the little fish shit. Can't do it. Can't be it. Is he the big fish or not? Bud been trying to get the fight. We take them at their word now. We gave him and Ugas and Bud Spence, Lucas, and Bud, we gave them a reprieve. Remember, we said, hey, they all was talking like, okay, let's reevaluate, let's revamp things, let's do this more right. So we've been waiting and seeing. I mean, isn't it that the Spence fans said, hey, the Ugas fight was already made, like pretty much soon after the Pacquiao. But damn, that's moving at the speed of light, ain't it? Well, I'm gonna need her to keep the same energy, move at the speed of light, and get this fight made. He the big fish, right? He got all the marbles, right? Am I saying something that's not logical? Ronald Fickner said, I doubt all those fans were there just to spit. Can't discredit the other boxing fan base. I know they weren't all there just for him. But Texas go hard for Spence. I give him that. But you ain't filling no damn stadium. Nearly 40. It's not 40. Closeness only counts in horseshoes. Y'all remember that? Lightspeed said, them clickbait channels saying something new every day for no reason. They the ones talking about the tune-ups and Thurman and all that. Y'all ain't hear none of that shit. Exactly. Y'all ain't hear none of that shit come out of Bud mouth. None of it. Y'all hit that motherfucking like button. Ronald Finkner said, you had Cruz on card, and you know Mexicans support their own. Spence did less pay-per-view numbers, just like Crawford. He's not a pay-per-view star without Bud. Yep, I agree. He never was a pay-per-view star. I even showed y'all the receipts of that. But when you start making these narratives, this is how everybody get hot and bothered. These narratives get caught up in people's identity. They get caught up in people's identity. He's a pay-per-view star. He never was. He's his own boss. He never was. Bud ducking. No, he never was. Spence ducking. Or was ducking. I remember we got a reprieve. You know, they said they're going to do right by each other. They're going to go behind closed doors. So I'll give him a chance. No way should we be sitting in the middle of May and this fight ain't been made. No way, no how. Look how speed of light. You got Ugas fight done. You going through folks, jumping over asses and paying set aside to get that shit done. I need you to keep that same energy. That's what I need. Mike Jones, salute King. He said he got better numbers. I guess he meant them Bud at hashtag Big Fish. Better don't mean pay-per-view star though. Mike Jones, it just don't mean it. PGA says stop making excuses. It's not excuses. What excuse am I making? Bud did not sign with the PBC. And he ain't probably, in my opinion, he not. That's just my opinion. You guys are putting out, or somebody's putting out, that he did this, and he did not. So what do you want me to call that when you saying he did something that he didn't? We call it what it is, a straight lie. Bud need to make the fight. Again, who is the big fish? So the big fish don't need to make the fight? He's not a pay-per-view star and only has one belt. Lame Bud. Lame Bud for what? He gonna kick Spence ass. He gonna kick Spence ass. Them two have never fought. My opinion, Bud wins. Your opinion, Spence wins. Bud has outclassed Spence on every level. In boxing, in business. I'm sorry, yes. Numbers don't lie. People may lie, but numbers don't lie. Mike Jones said he got better numbers. Okay. What's up, Bo? What you got on it?
Salute, Queen T. Wanted to come on here, give you a shout out. Definitely doing your thing and whatnot.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's as far as this, a lot of people I guess the Spence diehard fans, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of them gonna use straw man arguments that has nothing to do with the fight whatsoever. At the end of the day, it's gonna come down to when they both get in the ring. Let's see who's gonna, have the better night. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think Crawford will beat Spence. And I understand, the Spence fans think, Spence will beat Crawford. But all that other straw man argument that they be using, talking about who sold the most pay-per-views and stuff, has nothing to do with the fight whatsoever. My thing is this: if Spence was so confident that he could beat Terrence Bud Crawford, he shouldn't have had to wait the 4 years, wait till Bud, get into his mid-30s and finally feel safe to come out to play. You know, so I don't even know if this fight's still going to happen, to be honest with you, because I just feel as though the main reason why he called him out after that fight is because he had no choice but to call him out. I mean, people were, backing him in the corner like, dude, like, are you scared of Bud or what? So he finally called him out. But we got to see when it comes to this with the promotional company, are they going to make the fight? Because remember, they can't blame Bob Arum no more. So if this fight doesn't happen, they better put it on who they should have been putting it on a long time ago, the PBC. Because ain't none of them dudes over there trying to fight Crawford. Not Charlo, not Spence. Maybe Spence might want to fight him now. But at the end of the day, if this fight doesn't happen, I blame the PBC.
I feel like Spence gotta fight him.
Oh yeah, he definitely gotta fight him.
Pride, he gotta fight him no matter what. If you could offer, when we talk about the money, we try to say let's not get into that and all that. But I mean, you gotta think, as Spence said, I got an ego and pride. Bud got an ego and pride. You giving everybody else, even people that you ain't gaining nothing from, 50%. Why not give me 50%? What is the problem? I don't want to hear about no numbers being broken up, or what's the problem with the numbers? Because like you said, Bud is a free agent. He's a free agent now. So Spence money come from the PBC. Spence don't put up no money for his own fight. And Spence don't have a network. Bud do. I mean, it was plain and right, and I showed you. I showed everybody. The Mac Mob, you was there, Bo, right? When the Mac Mob broke that down? When B-Mac broke that down?
Yeah.
But people act like they don't want to see it. I don't know how these narratives come up with Bud ducking, or he turned down a fight with Keith Thurman, or he signed with the PBC. Sound like the PBC needs Fox Sports, a.k.a. Valley Sports, who Bud is with now, a.k.a. Introbox. Sound like the PBC need them more than Bud needs the PBC. So why would he sign? You ain't say that to Canelo. Canelo can say he's a pay-per-view star. He can say that. He broke way like double or almost triple what Spence did. Remember, Spence's highest pay-per-view was $350, and he been going down ever since. Now it's $240.
And that's not even really accurate, because the way I'm seeing it now, they saying who's a Glazer basically saying that joint ain't even do 200,000. It's between 100 and 200,000, but those numbers are not really the final numbers, because those are numbers that just floated up there, basically saying, "Oh, sources say," but they don't really tell you who said it was, 240,000.
Well, so, we know it won 500.
Yeah.
Sure. Ronald Finkley said only reason Spence even got numbers because fans like me bought the fight, the fighters fight. That was a good card. I commended PBC for doing that, because they've been giving us some BS lately. Finkley said Bud has several belts. Why you said Bud has several belts? Spence got 3. Yeah, Bud has 1 in his career.
No, he's saying throughout his career.
Right. Most protectors don't even buy fights. And then he said, if you're not buying Crawford fights, you're a hater. Mike Jones said, Spence has done everything he said he was going to do. The truth. Hashtag Big Fish. Well, Mike Jones, he didn't do everything he said he's going to do. That's not me hating. When you tell a man to go get a belt, and then we can talk, then we can put something together. And then when he gets the belt, as Bud said, you want to go over here and you want to go over there. Then he said, we want to clean up his side of the street. Now
he said Sean Porter got a belt.
Exactly. So you didn't do everything you say you're going to do. But I understand, as a Spence fan, that they want to say that. But logically speaking, He didn't do everything he said he gonna do. Now his third plan is I got 2 more fights. Now you got to go by what Tim Smith said. Those are the money guys. Y'all know that Spence is not putting up his money, but the people who are putting up the money said they don't have no intentions of paying Bud. They don't want to disrespect him, right? Spence has never got as high as Bud in guaranteed money. Now people will say, "Oh, what about the pay per view?" Well, we telling you he's not a pay per view star. Numbers don't show that. He's not. I don't care if it was 350. That does not make him a pay per view star. That might mean that he made more in pay per view than the next person, or even Bud. Don't make him a pay per view star. So how can you take to the bank what you speculate? We don't have to speculate guarantee money. And in guarantee money, 1.5 is lower than 6, because that's what Bud got guaranteed his last fight. So tell me again how he's bad, he do bad business, or Spence make the most money, or all this stuff. If Spence got the 3 belts, cool. He is the A side. I'll capitulate that. He got more belts. He got more hardware. But the person with the hardware need to make the fight, not the person without. If he makes more money than Bud, and that's how y'all see it, then he need to make the fight. Bud gonna sign, I'm sure. But keep that shit behind closed door. We can find out after the fight. Because we as fans don't need to even be haggling, because it ain't our business and we ain't getting paid. You know? So no, he did not do everything he said. Lightspeed said, agreed. I believe it when they give us a date. I believe it when they stand across from each other in the ring and the ref sound the bell. Spence technically should have been stripped as long as he held up the division because of his personal accidents. That could have happened too, but they didn't do it. That could have happened. I actually wanted him to wait till August to fight. I wanted to ensure that his eye was good. Ugas did not take advantage of this. He didn't understand the assignment. He should have been jabbing, and Ugas is a better jabber than when he showed in their fight. But he should have. But them mistakes that Spence made, Bud would have tore him up alive. Don't you think, Bo?
Yeah, yeah. They know it too. That's why they ain't want Spence to fight, but when he went 0-30 to go try to fight Ugas or whatnot, people were sitting up here like, oh, why should he fight Bud now? And all of a sudden Spence had one of his greatest performances against a damn puncher bag, and now they feel so comfortable that they sitting up here accusing Bud of running, even though Spence been doing running for 4 years. You would have swore Spence was on a track team.
Exactly. That's why y'all call him sprints. But now Bud said something curious to me, and I saw this weekend. He said, I'm going up to 160. I'm like, Bud, what are you talking about? I didn't like that statement. You see how I can be unbiased? I did not like that statement. I don't know what the fuck he meant. I'm going up to 160. Go to 154, then go up to 160.
He's going to run into the same problem, because at the end of the day, the PBC is at 154. If he's not going to get the fight with Spence at 147, and you already know Charlo not even hiding his duck language. He said, "Oh, wow, well, he need to go do this. He need to go do that. How does guy jump from here to there?" Like that's Charlo. You know what I'm saying? He don't even want to fight Bud. And then on top of that, 154 is controlled by the PBC. So if he doesn't get the Spence fight, I don't even see him getting the Charlo fight. Even if they force the mandatory, because he's the super champ at WBO, somehow I think Charlo will be like, "Oh, I'm moving up." You know what I'm saying? Like, just in order not to fight this dude.
And you know what? Let me say this too. If Charlo win in his match coming up, he get his belts and he drop them and move up, I'm not gonna badmouth Charlo. I ain't gonna be mad at him. Why would I be mad at him doing something that everybody else do? I won't be mad. It would be unfortunate, but I won't be mad at him. You know, That goes for Bud and Spence. If he dropped them belts, then they just gotta come up there and get it out the mud. They gotta get it. They gotta go through the heartache of belt by belt. You know.
But it's my thing though. The big fight is going to be between Spence and Crawford, and if that doesn't happen, and Crawford decides to move up, the big fight is going to be between the winner of Castillo and Charlo versus Crawford. If let's just say if Charlo moves up, who is he going to fight at 160? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's going to be just like his brother. You know, it's going to be a whole Triple G thing. Maybe try to fight a Mexican or whatever. That's the logic they go by.
And you can't guarantee that Charlo, either one of them gonna want to fight that Big Charlo is gonna want to move up, because he hasn't really showed you that that's what he want to do. He's kind of undecided or in limbo right now. If he wanted to do that, he would do it. So yeah, everybody talking big game, but little Charlo acting like Bud don't got a right to say I'm coming for you next. Like, that ain't logical to say that. I think he giving you props. He basically picking you to win. That's giving you props.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if he got a WBO and you become undisputed, kudos to you for that. That's a great accomplishment. But if he gonna activate his mandatory and go face you and have an opportunity to become undisputed, if you can knock him out, then knock his ass out. That's what you do. But you don't be like, you worry about, go ahead and worry about 147. He have been. How many times the probably got to keep trying to do something before they say fuck it? Mike Jones said they say Spence ain't saying his name. Spence did say his name at the end of that fight. Spence says his name, and Bud fans still not satisfied. Are we satisfied? Not. See, I'm gonna tell the truth over here. I don't know who you talking about, Dave, but Bud fans be telling the truth. What you gonna say, Bud? Bo.
I'm telling you, that's what I was saying earlier, man. Spence get a good win, get a spectacular performance, and all of a sudden the confidence come out of these Spence fans and whatnot. They try to pretend like Bud is the one running. They try to pretend like Bud fans hasn't been waiting for this fight for years now. That's how they act,
How many videos got to be shown? Go to eThriller, watch all them chapters, chapter 1 through 16, and you tell me, because I seen the video out Spence mouth. Go get a belt. I also seen the video out Spence mouth where he wanted to fight. What's his name? Dude from Australia.
You talking about Jeff Horn?
Yeah, Jeff Horn. I seen Spence say, "Shit, line him up. I'm ready." What's the difference? Once Bud got the belt, you won't ready no more? Ronald Finkley said, "Man, fans are sick. If the sanctioning bodies actually did their job, he would have been stripped catering to a drunk is biased as hell." A lot of people feel a certain kind of way about drunk driving and stuff. I do too. It happened. God willing, he pulled through. And that's a good thing. I'm going to leave it as a good thing. But I ain't going to penalize his ass, like he did something spectacular. Oh, wow. Ooh. And Bud got shot in the back of the head, as I like to say. That's my answer to that. I ain't penalizing Bud. I been knew that Bud got shot in the back of his head. They mentioned that shit years ago. Never once did I see any channel talk about this nigga got shot in the head and he came back. And it was at close range, y'all. Now, as I say, what's worse? Thrown for the car, shot in the head. They equally just as bad for anybody to come back from that. Ooh. But I'm not going to roll out the red carpet because you came back from something spectacular. People do that all the time. Extraordinary things happen to people all the time. He was fortunate. I'm glad.
And he was the one driving under the influence.
He was the one wrong. Whatever Bud was in, Bud cleaned up that way that he was, or whatever he was into. He cleaned himself up, and he got away from those distractions. So I say that about Bud too. But to penalize a person because they overcame adversity, that's the reason why he's Superman. Now he can be y'all superhero, but he's not mine. He's not a bad fighter. Spencer's a great fighter. That's why I used to buy all his shit. I told y'all why I stopped buying PBC. It really had nothing to do with Spence. Indirectly, yes, but nothing to do with Spence. Y'all can blame Tim Smith for that, cause he let me know I was wasting my time, and I ain't bought shit all year. And trust me, trust me, I don't know what the fuck I could have been buying with all the money I spend in boxing every year. PGA said Bud blamed Bob Arum when he left Top Rank. And we went through this, PGH. It's always been Bud holding up the fight. It has not. Only Mikey got 50%. That's not true. Sean Porter did too, and then Ugas did. Danny Garcia got 40. Bud need to make the damn fight. He's saying that. I hear you, King. Mike Jones said, what network does Bud have? Fox Sports. Fox Sports. Y'all can look it up. You can Google it. I got a video on it. The Mac Mob got a video on it. Even Black Fight Fan. And y'all watch him, I know. He said that Bud was signed the intro box. Now, would Black lie about that? No. He wouldn't lie about that. He said it.
And he's the biggest Spence fan.
Exactly. He said it. He confirmed it too. B-Mac, the Mac Mob broke it down. And I just reiterated. Mike Jones said, okay, what network is Fox, Mike. Ronald Finkley said, I wasn't going to buy the fight, but just like I imagined, the faith in boxers is terrible. Mike said Spence got Bud running to snack. Spence don't got Bud running to nothing. I don't think, Mike.
I'm telling you, man, like as if Bud didn't have Snack on when he fought Sean Porter, who was also with Snack, by the way.
Yeah. Mike Jones said Canelo do way better numbers than Crawford. He do way better numbers than Spence too. At least Canelo made the list. Spence didn't. He said Rick Glaser, a known hater. I don't know. Y'all believe him when y'all want to believe him.
It doesn't fit their narrative. That's why they saying that.
He says, so for the grand finale, y'all will want to see Spence versus Porter and Ugas for Undisputed. I want to see Spence and Crawford fight. Win, lose, or draw. I've been wanting to see it for years, like most of us. I think we all on the same page. But you know, whether it happens or not, we'll see. We will see. PGA's Big Dog said bad business is being without a network. Well, Spence don't have a network. Filing frivolous lawsuits is not frivolous. If you agree to something in the contract and you breach that contract, that's not frivolous. Lawsuits, and plus, if it's frivolous, it wouldn't have standing and it wouldn't go through. Now that's law. We can all Google that. Courts do not take lawsuits that are frivolous. Courts do not take lawsuits that have no standing. So if they take a lawsuit, the frivolous part, y'all got to get that out the narrative, because courts just don't do it. And not giving fans the fights they want to see make the fight, but PGH on that. I think the big fish need to make the fight. So PGH, you tell me, if Spence is the big fish and he's the A side, you don't hold him accountable to making the fight at all? That's my question to PGH. Mike Jones said Bob Arum said he could have bought a house in Beverly Hills that was wasted $6 million. Hey, he paid him what he was worth. If only PBC could pay Spence what he's worth. Ron Finkley said, what I don't get is they act like Ugas a world beater and Sean Porter lumped Spence up. They just worship way too much. Let's see it. Yeah, they penalize him. I think people just hate Southern people more so Texas dudes. No, Texas dudes be biased, y'all. And I like Texas. I got family in Texas. but some, not all. Nothing I ever say is an absolute. So let me be clear. Some Texas people be way biased. They be way biased. Like when you say Spence is his own boss, a lot of people from Texas say that, but he never was. He never was. We can prove it. One of y'all, I offered somebody $50 cash app, and I'm still offering it. Prove to me. What did I ask before? But now I'm gonna offer $50 for somebody to prove to me that Spencer's his own boss. Because the minute you say that PBC puts up the money, you can negate all that talk. But see, that kind of talk adds fuel to the fire. And that's what I was debunking. Let's stop adding fuel to the fire. Talk about what is and not what we like or what we think. What is. And then Ronald said, y'all love the white man as much as you talk about him. Mike Jones, if that's even your real name. PBC is headed by Al Heyman, who offers stock photos, the same three motherfuckers photos that been up there for years. Y'all don't even know if he a real person. Uh, Ronald Finkley says Spence is supposed to be the cash cow. It's on Al to make negotiations work. Yeah, Bud is a free agent. But y'all heard what PBC said about that. They don't want to pay him. I'm glad he survived. I prayed for him too. But to make him immortal is sick. Yeah, the Bible's, well, everybody ain't with the Bibles. But, don't offer no false gods. Ray News Sartoris is in the building. What's poppin', Key? Say hello, Queen. Y'all make sure y'all hit this like button. We just talking. don't not hit the like button because you don't like what I'm saying. I'm gonna always tell you guys the truth. Mike Jones said Bud got grazed. So did Spence. These jokers don't know law. They just know what pimps pedos tell them.
I think he's talking about that. I think he's talking about the bullet.
Oh, pep. So pedos? Like he just know what pimps pedos. I didn't know what pedos was. Tell them. Soapbox boys, are they news source? D Ray is in the building. Was popping king. Ronald Finkley said exactly false saying Spence ain't a boss. His choker chain is tight. A 3 deal not signed. Prove to Miss T. Blessings. Yeah, prove that to me. That's what it was. Prove to me that he signed with PBC. I give you $50 cash out on spot. Ronald Finkley says Spence choker chain tight. Ronald Finkley says salutes. New media today, USA Boxing. What's up, Coach Malachi? Hit that like button, guys. Thank you, Coach. Ronald Finkley said, what's good at D-Ray Promotion? But that's all I was saying, Bo. The narrative keep changing. Remember, Bo, not that long ago, a couple of weeks ago, he was signed to the PBC.
Oh yeah. You already know the channels they be following. Because they come up with all types of stories. I remember the dude Fanon last year. This was after he got kicked out the Alphabet group, and he went on like he vanished for about a month or two, and then he burst back on the scene. In his first video, he said Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence had a sparring match, and sources told him that Errol Spence knocked Bud out in a sparring match, and I was like, what? I'm like, when the hell did they even spar? But if you leave it up to Fanon just make up stories.
I think he the one who's putting out that Terrence Crawford asked for a tune-up. Is Ugas a tune-up or is Terrence a tune-up? Y'all answer me that. So when he said tune-ups are for people who ain't sure of themselves, that's kind of a slap in the face, y'all, to other fighters. Because tune-ups is a real thing. Ring rust is a real thing. It don't mean you less than, but if you out of practice, I can be the best piano player, right? If I stop playing piano for 5 years, I'm going to be out of practice. I don't stop playing piano for 5 years and then ask to get a show at Carnegie Hall, and that's my first time back. Are you crazy? People don't do that. It's a real thing to get out of practice. So it's not a
But
bad thing.
I will say this though. I will say this. I actually slightly agree with that term that like if you're a champion, and this is what I like. I mean, why when champions, when you become a champion, I never understood why champions be like, y'all need to take a little tune up here and there. I'm like, you already the champion. Like to me, you should be fighting, you know what I'm saying, the best or the top five or not some nobody and whatnot. So I do slightly agree with that.
I agree when you are consistent and you don't have a lot of time off. You wasn't didn't have a lot of lull moments in your boxing career that you continue to fight the best. You know, I don't understand tune-ups in that way, but if you had time off for whatever reason, then I agree that you should do a tune-up, something that's much more easier. I guess that's what a tune-up is, something a little bit more easier to get your feet back wet, because there is a such thing as ring rust, and there is a such thing. I don't care what sport, what activity you do. If you stop doing it for a while, you're gonna be out of practice. You're not gonna be at your best. So in a sense like that, Earl coming off a layoff, so maybe he did need a tune up. But you put it out there, nobody asked you, nobody solicited that from you. Nobody, it's a slap in people's face to say that. I mean, sometimes he do low key condescending remarks, and people don't call him on that. What about Bo? All the fighters who felt they needed a tune up because they had time off, or they coming off an accident, or they coming off whatever, a broken rib or broken whatever, and they need a tune up. What about those fighters? Why
No,
aren't
I,
they?
I have nothing against that, but I'm just saying, like we did see throughout history when fighters been consistent, and all of a sudden they talk about, they get out of a tough fight and they be like, oh, well, it's time for me to get a soft touch, and I'm sitting up here like, a soft touch, like, dude, you the champion, you
Yeah,
know. It's time to just step your game up at the next camp. It's not like you fighting the next day, you know what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah,
like like
it's kind of a
like
shake.
when I hear people talk about, and I'm gonna use this as an example. I'm gonna say Canelo, for instance, right?
Hmm.
Because you always hear people say, "Oh, Canelo can do whatever he wants," right? And that's cool. But some of the people that say the same, saying Canelo could do whatever he want, be the first one to criticize a Floyd Mayweather, right, for doing the exact same thing. But my thing is, we can't be like, "Oh, well, Canelo fought this guy. You should take a soft touch." Like, nah, man, you could sit, you a champion. Like, if you want to take a soft touch, and if it's supposed to be for your belt, then you won't have to, like, you know what I'm saying, drop the belt or something.
I see what
Because
you're
if that soft touch is able to fight for your belt,
saying.
then to me that's not fair to the person who's actually in line to fight for the belt. So
Yeah,
I take it like that if they consist. But somebody coming off an accident, I mean, yeah, I have no problems with that. Somebody been out of boxing for years, whether they're in an accident or not, and you want to get your feet wet again, then yeah, cool. I'm cool with that.
yeah, and so Earl said that because he was worried about the narratives, I believe, that could have been put out. Now, as a Bud fan, I didn't put out no narrative like, "Oh, he taking the tune up." I did mention the fact that he said tune ups are for people who are unsure of themselves. Why say that? I question why you say that, because isn't that what you're doing by facing Ugas? Ugas had a belt. Terrence had a belt. You could have went the Terrence route and then went to Ugas to finish it out.
Cause
Ugas is not better than Terrence.
he ain't want to fight. He ain't want to fight turns. I mean, think about it.
Yeah,
Ugas going on 36 years old. If he fights Terrence Crawford this year, Terrence Crawford be turning 35. I mean, and who's to say Ugas? Let's just say if he did go the Bud route, who's to say if Ugas was to fight Butayev or Stanionis. Who was to say he was going to win that fight?
Yeah. Ugas was crying to everybody, but Santa Claus, he didn't want to fight them boys. But we got
Mm-hmm.
Light Speed up in here. What you got on the Light Speed?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on, Bo? What's going on, Miss T?
Welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
what's up, man?
Yeah, nah, I don't really got much to say. I just felt like with the just making no judgment. I do think it's funny with the no tune-ups thing because one, yeah, I agree with y'all. He had an excuse. He if he would have said that he was taking the tune-up, I don't think anybody would have had any argument for him. He could have said that,
Mm-hmm.
and rightfully so. I think it is just funny that he said they wasn't tune-ups, but basically went and took two tune-ups. They was dangerous tune-ups, for somebody else that might not have been a tune-up, but they was tune-ups for Bud. Because I really think, rightfully so, I think after the accident, he wasn't ready for Bud.
Right. That's what it was, you guys. That's what it was. I mean, but to say, like I said, I think he was trying to control the narrative that could have been pushed out because everybody would have been saying, "Why the hell you fighting Ugas? Bud right there, he wants to fight. Why you just don't?" And then he paid out of step aside money. He went out of his way to fight Ugas instead of Bud. And then Tim Smith come right behind him. I think it was January and said what he said. Now everybody looking confused. I told y'all the big question for me, inquiring minds want to know, namely me, did PBC verbalize to Earl Spence their intentions when it came to Bud? And if they did, when did that happen? Because that matters. Don't y'all? I mean, I don't know what y'all think about that, but it
That's
matters if Earl knew all along PBC had no intentions of hooking up a fight with Bud.
I think that's an interesting point because in that video where I don't know if it was the first confrontation that Spence and Bud had, but the one where Al Heyman had walked out and I mean not Al Heyman when
Bob,
how am I forgetting this dude's name? Who was that?
Bob Arum.
Bob Arum.
Mhm.
And Spence mentioned that Al Heyman talked about who he was fighting going forward, and that they didn't mention Bud. And then there was the video that this one I think is on the low. I don't know if everyone's seen this one, but Mayweather was saying their plans for Spence and what he thought was on the line, and they also left Bud out.
Yeah, I mean, if it come back out, if if they open the books and somehow some emails get leaked, and it shows that years ago they told Spence point blank, "Nah, you ain't gonna never fight, bud, because we ain't gonna let that happen." Then what do y'all surmise after that? Because then it would be one, all that I'm my own boss bullshit. I hate when fighters say that when they know they not. I really do. Because all they do is bravado unnecessary. You made a good deal. You made a good deal for yourself. That's all that need to be said. You getting paid way more than everybody else in this country, like a whole lot of people. Barely making 30,000 a year. You making that and then some. So you doing well for yourself. You don't need to beat your chest to say you the boss when you're not. And then you turn around and Tim Smith, the people that put up your money so that you can fight because you don't put up no money, gonna turn around and say, not in the past, present, or future do we have intentions of paying Bud. Did you know that, Spence? I really want to know. I don't think I'll ever find out, but that's a question I want to know. Ronald Finkley said, for non a big liar, he made a pact with 5 channels to lie and take over narratives by any means necessary. You see how he lied about 500,000. Yeah, I saw that too. I did see that. Ronald said, just like we all initially thought, Spence numbers have dropped. Yep, it did. I just showed y'all. I'll show you again. Body ache for 3 days now. I'm a little mad. Apologies, Miss T. Oh, it's okay, Ronald. I've been gone. I've been out of town. I told y'all I took my mom up her Mother's Day gift this past Thursday. I left Thursday and I just got back yesterday. I bought my mom a 2022 Kia Soul. She never in her life had a brand new car. I'm happy for that. My mom got emotional. She got real emotional. She in her 70s, y'all. She got emotional. Can you imagine that, to make it to 70 and you ain't never had a new car in your life? Yeah, I had to do that because the car she was riding was raggedy and she was breaking down and shit. So I was like, hey, I had to make a command decision. So that's what I was doing, y'all. And I'm back now. And she was happy. I made a video. It's on my Facebook, though. I don't know if I can bring it over, but she was so happy, man. She even teared up. Ronald Finkley said, exactly, Ugas never was a world beater. He got lucky to get the pack fight. When the opportunity presented itself, Ronnie, and he did get that opportunity, he showed and proved, didn't he? So kudos to Ugas. I know you saying that too. Kudos to Ugas, but Earl could have went the route that we wanted him to go. There was no need to fight Mikey and Danny, but it happened. We let it go. We let it go. But it still don't. Nothing that happens today forward would negate the fact, at least on my perspective, that he ducked Bud all these years. Was never Bud. It was them. Everybody was in cahoots to keep Bud from the fights that he wanted. And he does have a right to sue Bob Arum, because if you make a contract with Bob and you breach the contract, you think Bob ain't gonna sue you? Oh, Bob gonna get you. So why this black man can't do the same? That's all I'm saying. And Spence looked like a machine versus Ugas. You do the math. Crawford nullifies all that superior boxing look. L Dub is in a building. He said, what's good? Capson G4 said, good point. D Ray said, L Dub salute. Ronald Finkley said, I'm a boss. I hear you, King. Ronald said, country as hell. L Dub said, salute at Ray Promotions, D Ray Promotions. D Ray said, Bud Crawford pound for pound king will more than double EJ number. They would make money good together. That's dope, Miss T. L Dub said. And active activist is in a building. What's up, my little brother right there? Hey, y'all. D Ray said, that's so nice at 70 driving. She earned it. So proud of her baby. Yeah, she said I was her baby. I was her favorite that weekend. Well, we all know in the family who are favorite. That would be my brother. It's all good though. It's all good. I know she watching. I'm like, yes, mom. Dale is your favorite. Yes, yes, yes. But it's all good. I was the favorite for one weekend. I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, so this narrative, me, I'm all about debunking narratives or preventing them before they start, Lightspeed and Bo. That's what I try to do. Because sometimes I be like, we put the cart before the horse. This is the distractions that get in the way from getting to what we want to get. Will we get this fight? We will see. In my Earl Spence voice. D Ray is laughing. The active said facts. And we will see, y'all. That's all I was saying. But I just can't believe this shit about Bud asked for a tune-up. Like, see, that's a bridge too far for me. Because we know damn well that ain't never happened. And like I said, I showed you receipts. The Mac Mob showed you receipts. You guys can go back and watch those shows. I can't do no better than that. I can't do no better than show you receipts. If you don't want to take them on, then I can't do nothing but respect it. But I know better. That's how I'm gonna say it like that. I know better. Ronald Finkley said, exactly. You're a good daughter. Thank you. But yeah, that's all I was saying, y'all. That's all I pretty much had to say. I came back to a front row seat to some bullshit, so I had to speak on it. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Most of them dudes on the Alphabet channels used to be Bud fans until he came into the 147-pound division. Then they started slandering him, and then on top of that, some of them dudes used to defend, but with the whole Earl Spence thing. But when Bud wasn't giving these dudes interviews, they all turned their back on him. And they
Yeah.
start, calling him every name out the damn book and shit.
Some people, I heard on one of them shows, like I try not to call names, but I think, I look at Black Fight Fan Show. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just say that. And I heard, I think it was Cece who said, common sense. She was like talking about common sense. If you shit on somebody or he thinks you shitting on somebody. Why would he come do an interview? I was like, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, CC. Go ahead and drop that knowledge.
Yeah,
You know,
but she was shitting on him at one point in time.
but she says how she feel about him, which she has a right to say, and she has a right to feel that way. That's her opinion. But
Yeah,
also said, hey, if he feels that we shitting on somebody, why would he come talk to us? I have so much
right,
respect.
right, right.
I have
And
so much.
and I agree with that, and that's what I'm saying. Like they started shitting on, especially like barbershop conversation. What the hell is
Hey,
that?
active activists, you making a lot of noise in the background. I just mute you for a second.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a,
especially like Fred from barbershop conversation. I was just laughing at his video after this whole Earl Spence performance because Fred was acting like he was in the ring fighting Ugas himself. He's like, "Yeah, bud, we coming for you." And I'm sitting up here, I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "What does this dude like part of the Wonder Twins or something? Would he activating the hop in the ring to fight Ugas himself or some shit?"
I
Like
think
this,
that's not
shit was
real.
funny as
Fred
Yeah,
was happy. He's a Spence fan. Go ahead, Lightspeed. I'm
no,
sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's next level. Like when Bud was trying to go in the ring in Texas, like just I don't know where it happened, where all these people fell in love with Spence. But I mean, yeah, as a boxer, I always liked him, but I, I just don't understand it. It's
I
amazing.
I still like Spence, but I ain't gonna I'm not gonna like condone it like I'm Barbara Badhead, but
I,
that's the only way I can think of. I'm not
I
condoning the bullshit
I
narratives.
feel like where it is with me for Spence now is that I have respect for his talent. I mean, that's where I go with. I mean, because I ain't none of these boxers are my heroes anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I'm a fan of the sport. So then once all those narratives started coming out and just really mainly the stuff that comes from his mouth, all the contradictions, it just get hard. It get hard to stand behind that. And I know,
Right.
you know what I mean. I know the promoters and there's a lot of politics involved, but is what it is. I don't know all the politics. I don't know the story behind the story. I just know on the surface, if it looked like a duck, walk like a duck,
Like, yeah.
it
But
might say.
it's like for me, I can't stand the false narratives, the spin, because it you don't have to. You really don't have to. If you want to see clearly if somebody ducked, you can have that opinion, or you can have the opinion that the other person ducked. But the lies shouldn't. When they was calling him Toby and all that stuff, I just thought that was in bad
oh
taste.
yeah,
And
top ring Toby and yeah.
yeah, and the liar and the bad business. I don't like that. I don't like that. I mean, me saying that Spence is not his own boss, that's not a put down. He did very well for his career, but he's not a boss. That's all I'm saying. I if I say I retired from the military, but I only did 4 years, then I can't say I retired from the military, can I? There's no need to say it. I know a lot of people who say that and be like, but I got this and I got that. If you did 20 years, you retired. If you
Yeah,
did not do 20 years, you didn't retire.
right.
Unless they got that medical retirement or something.
But I mean, then say that it's a medical retirement, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
But to offer it like I retired, that's not true. I don't correct nobody who do that, but I use that example, you guys, only because that's my past. I did my 20 years in the military, and that's all I could think of as far as like me saying what I did. If I didn't do it, I didn't do it. I didn't get as high as I wanted to get or should have got. It didn't happen. Some of that shit my fault. A lot of that shit ain't. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I just did my 20. As a matter of fact.
Congratulations. Navy all
Appreciate
day, right? Navy all day.
it.
Salute, salute.
Thank you. Ronald Finkley said, I got tired of listening to Black Fight Fan slob air off. I was defender. I was a defender also. I noticed the disrespect mounting. A lot of the YouTube content creators will say things that you might not like. For me, I can't stand bias. I'm a Libra, you guys. my scales got to be balanced. So naturally, I would go for the underdog, but mostly, I just have to have fairness. It don't even have to be for me to be pissed off. I have to have fairness because I can't understand anything else. You know what I'm saying? And the hatred or the vitriol that Bud gets, I didn't see how that was fair. I didn't even see why it was necessary. D Ray said, what y'all talking about? This narrative that Bud asking for a tune up or sign a 3-part deal when he is partnership with Fox Sports. I'm gonna keep saying Fox till they, actually put the Bally's name up, because if I say Bally's, they were like, who is Bally's? Bally's is Fox Sports. I showed you guys in writing receipts.
So Fox Sports changed his name to Bally's. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they're gonna have to change their name to Bally's because
Oh, okay.
Disney acquired Fox Sports, and then the United States government with their monopoly laws was like, whoa, whoa, you got 90 days to change that or do something, or we're gonna get that bid to Comcast. Comcast was also trying to acquire Fox. So Disney did what they could. They farmed it off to subsidiaries, namely Sinclair. Sinclair got with Bally's. They together came up with the name Bally Sports to replace Fox. Now I'm saying this as plain as day, but nobody's gonna believe it till they start seeing it advertised like that. But I'll wait, and it's gonna come, and then they're gonna be like, "Yo, Fox Sports is now Bally's," but Bally's is signed with Introbox, and who is signed through Introbox? Terrence, as what? A partnership. I'm not even gonna give him the moniker of ownership because that'd be too hard for some of the Spence fans to take. But he has a network. Bottom line, he has a network. So yeah, and he has a manager. He's a partner. Every fight that Fox put on, Bud gets a coin or two in his pocket. Ronald said, your favorite fighter getting ran over by a pickup truck. Black be bugging. Black is from Texas, and he like his fighter. He like his fight. Like I said, all of y'all can like Spence. I can't do nothing but respect it. Only thing I will speak on is any lies. That's what I do, because you don't have to lie. You don't have to make up nothing. You don't have to put no spin out there. D-Ray Promotion says, smoke and mirrors. Bob, a clown ass, won't give him to me. Bob is a clown. They didn't care. It was all about the super chat. They would let people say anything. Okay. And Ronald said, I knew them platforms well, calling Crawford Toby, but you pro-black. Yes, I'm going to support mine, but I'm pro-fairness too. You're right, Ronald. I am pro-black, but I'm pro-fairness. If it's fair, I can rock with that. You know why? Because these men sacrifice a lot. They doing shit we ain't doing. Ain't that right, you guys? They getting up in the middle of the night or running or whatever the fuck they doing to get ready for a fight. None of us is doing that. I have to give respect to that. And they deserve a fair shot. I don't give a care what color you are. But you damn right, I'm going to always rep mine. D-Ray, them scales, yeah. D-Ray, I'll say, Bud told EJ he was fat. And EJ said, easy road, fam. Yeah, he did call him fat. He did, I remember that. He said, hey, feel this. Yeah, feel this. He was.
Hey, you know what he also said during that exchange?
What's up?
He said he did the I forget what it's called. What's it called? Because I'm a fan, but I wouldn't say I'm like a I know boxing enough to know the terms. But he was like, don't try that, doop, doop, doop. And he did the hand gesture, like doing the body blows.
Don't try that body shot.
Don't even try that. I thought that was just funny because people always say, oh, he ain't going to be able to, you know what I mean? He ain't going to be ready for that. Meanwhile, he already called that out.
Exactly. Ronald Fickley said, I was speaking on the other channels, but see, I hear you, King. He said, with the Toby comments, yeah, that was just, for me, that was a bridge too far. But I can't control what nobody think and what they want to say. Like I said, I for me, I can tell my opinion. I don't like those type comments.
I mean, the crazy part about it is, like, them saying it right is one thing. it's the gullible subscribers that sit there and believe that shit too, man. That's what really be pissing me off. I be like, damn, like y'all actually believe this nonsense?
Those are the facts. Hey, boy, you think they are real people? Like, you think these people, some of these people is on the payroll?
I was hearing that like some of them guys were like buying subscribers and stuff like that.
Only reason I asked that because some of the logic is so off, and it's just so wild, and they move the goalpost so much,
Yeah.
and they seem
Yeah.
so invested that I just can't even. It doesn't seem real. It's actually unreal. Like people like I don't want to call people out. Yeah, I know he's a young boy, but he crazy. Like people like Lennar, and then there's a few of them like that. Like I think
Yeah.
he's the king, but there's a few like that.
Well, they so caught. Like, I could be a fan. I don't think I could be biased. You know, remember when I was talking about Daniel Canahan, and I was talking about the fighters that might be caught up in that. I put Bud name on the list. You think I really wanted to give anybody fuel for the fire? But it was the truth. I had to report it as I saw it. I'm not gonna cake for Bud. Ever. I just happen to think he's a better fighter. I just happen to think skill-wise he's better than Errol Spence. I don't think Errol Spence is bad. But, you know, Errol Spence have engaged in some of this bullshit narratives. Or he at least could have controlled it by just coming out and making certain statements. But he didn't. But, you know, they all here, as of late, you know, sound like they, you know, talking some good sense. We shall see. I need the energy that it took to quickly make the Ugas fight, then make that fight with Bud. May 15, we get here. Ain't no fight to be seen. It ain't even no negotiation. I got a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I got a problem with that. Because why would you spent your whole career in one weight class for the most part? I mean, I know he did win in 154 and he came down to 147. And as y'all always say, it took him 10 years to get 3 belts or 5 years, or whatever the case. Okay, you spend all this time here. Why not go for the gusto? If he is the big fish, the heavy lifter, the one with all the hardware, it's incumbent upon him to make this fight. But I told y'all Earl is not his own boss. Because if PBC don't want it, Earl will not get it. That's facts.
Nah,
D-Ray says
he not his own. He's not his own boss. But then also, I think it was Bold that said it. It was on. I think I was listening to Mac's show, or E3. I forget which one it was. But he basically said what Choker Chain Gang. I remember someone made a comment about all them Choker Chain boxes. all them ones that recently. Funny, I know it sounds kind of weird, but they all were recently showed up at the fights with those. It was like a specific, like platinum choker chain. The one Mayweather be having, Jake Paul wore. It's like you can't not notice it. But long story short, I just feel like they all had that chain on at one point. But I feel like all of those boxes, they started off hungry, but it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you start being coddled, you already losing that grit that made you a champion anyway. Like for me, it's only a matter of time. I think that's why I feel like a lot of these upsets been happening recently in boxing.
That's an excellent point. Because boxing ain't a sport that you play, you do. And you got to always have that hunger. That's one thing that was beautiful about Floyd Mayweather, because you have to look at him and say, dude, what makes you hungry? The motherfucker got everything you could ever want.
I know. Now we know it's that ego, right?
It's the ego. The same thing that made him great in boxing makes him suck outside that ring. Ain't that funny? That's ironic.
Yeah. But that's what I see in these fights. I see like I feel like Spence lost it. I'll give him some forgiveness because I know I can tell he's different from the crash. Like people tell you they don't see it, but I see it. I see it when he fight. But the Charlo brothers, I feel like, or at least Jamal, that's what's happening now. You know, you coddled, you protected. You getting
Yeah.
used to that good life, and
Yeah.
then that, you know what I mean, that dog is something you got to keep in you. It just, I feel like, see, some got to keep you hungry, like what you said.
What's keeping you hungry? If it's the thrill of it all, if it's the competition of it all, when you're in competition with yourself, that's the best competition ever. Because you will always try to outdo what you did last. That is the best competition. Not
Right.
necessarily being in competition with somebody else. If you housing niggas, you did a great job. Like when he knocked out Sean Porter, ain't nobody ever did that shit. So
Yes. Facts.
but Bud got that shit in him that he gonna do better, better and better and better. Spencer's not the only dog. Bud is a dog too, and Spence ain't the only one that came over, got over adversity. So did Bud. So we don't know 100% how the fight gonna turn out. I put my money on Bud, but anything can happen in boxing. So I will say that, but I just think Bud will win. I think he's a better fighter. D. Ray said Snack made them clown ass respectfully hot. Captain Full G said, I don't care. I use BFTB as an example all day. What you mean, Caps? Example for, you know, D Ray Promotion said, I said I love my great, 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 great. So great people, Toby. What that mean? Great people, Toby. Okay. Clarify that one, D Ray. Ronald said that whole time I was in them chats, I couldn't think to call him a slave name. Me either. Again, people have a right. Me and Bo for sure wore that uniform for 20 years, fighting for y'all rights to have freedom of thoughts, feelings, expression, speech, all that shit. And I stand by that. I stand by that. So I can't do nothing but respect what anybody say, even if it's against what I say. But I'm gonna always tell you what I say. I gives a fuck what's out there, and I'm gonna go by facts, not fiction. How many low blows Ugas take? He took a couple, and that's another thing. Y'all know the only problem that I have with Earl Spence is the low blows. Y'all know I say that a lot. I know guys don't speak on it all the time, but for me, it matters because I don't see the sense in it. I understand it can happen, but to chronically happen, that's a problem for me. Ronald said, I was thinking they would take a point blatant low blow. Yeah, but they never do, especially in Texas. You ain't gonna get no call. Porter's stoppage looked like a fugazi. Walter Tran, welcome to the building, King. What's popping? He said it looked like fugazi. It won't fugazi, shawty. D-Ray Promotion said, have your people subscribe to the Queen. Exactamundo. Capsule Full G said, I use BFTB bullish as an example of foolishness and show on my channel. Okay, I see.
Damn. Okay then.
This is Rob. Welcome to the building. This is Rob. He said, Fugazi, he could barely stand up after the second knockdown. Pay attention to his legs. Yeah, and it's the thing, Bo. I remember y'all being on the Mac Mob and E Thriller when they was saying that Porter was the test. I remember they built up Kell Brook. Bud goes through these people cleanly, and then they was nothing.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what they do. And then they do the opposite when it comes to Earl Spence. These dudes were easy, and then when they give Earl Spence a hard time, then all of a sudden these dudes are tough.
But you know one thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But I do see a learning curve. I have seen certain fighters, Earl Spence to include him. You remember how before a fight, Earl would just down a fighter? And y'all know he did. That's his right to do so. But I was like, don't y'all look at Floyd? Not just Earl, a lot of fighters do. I said, look, you guys made the fight with this person. Why would you down them before the fight? You're tipping your hat. You're pulling the curtain back. You're basically telling me this fighter was easy. So now I gotta look at you sideways. Why are you taking the easy fight? You need to talk about it like a dog, build the fight up, but don't make the mistake of telling the world before the fight how low budget, low key, like that person ain't nothing. You remember what Spence used to say about Porter? Somebody you couldn't sell a ham sandwich and all that.
Yeah, can't sell out a
Yeah.
bar.
Then why you want to fight him? You know, Ronald
He
Fickle
called
said,
him. He said he called him the easy route.
this is Rob said, Bud on a 9 KO/TKO streak. Is it 9 or 10? But it's up there like that. D-Ray Promotion said 9 with the eyes. Yeah, Bud is doing that. Who else is doing that? Who else is doing that? Y'all gotta give him. And then when they low grade Bud and call him Toby and talk about him like a dog, call him everything but a child of God, and then people, it's not just. I'm not saying it's directly at no YouTube channel, but a lot of the fans in the channels be acting like they don't understand because he don't want to come to your show. I'm telling you, I met this man twice. I have nothing but good shit to say about Bud. I met him when he wasn't all that in 2015 at the Pac and Floyd fight. Same man I met last year at the Shakur Stevens fight. Took a picture with him twice. He the same person, same humble person. I didn't see this all these insults to be true. But if I insult somebody, I don't think that they would ever want to talk to me. Ever. So I've heard people even come in here and say, he don't go to the channels. He don't have to. He don't come to mine. And I rep his ass all the time. I ain't gonna never be mad at that. I don't think outside of me meeting him, if Bud was to see me again, he'd be like, oh, I remember you maybe. But outside of that, maybe he'll remember me. But outside of that, I don't think Bud even know I exist. Like, he not coming on my show. And Bud, by the way, if you look at my show, I would love for you to come. Just so we clear. But I don't see him in the future coming to my show. I don't know if he will or not. But the door is open, Bud. Anytime. But I ain't gonna get mad at that. I figure the man got bigger things to do, bigger fish to fry than me. But I can't hold that against him. He living his life. Ronald Finkel said it was almost 2 minutes left. Porter getting knocked down 3 times was coming. He was probably going to get smooth the fuck knocked out. D-Ray with the scales. Indeed, Ronald Finkel said Texas folks disrespecting each other must be a daily sport because East Coast don't get down like that. Well, Texas, like I said, it can be a beautiful thing, but sometimes it bleeds into obscurity. Not everybody. I can't say it's an absolute. However, a lot of people from Texas, when they repping the people that's from Texas, it could be a fighter that's a C level. They're gonna rep them hard. That's beautiful to rep your own. That's a beautiful thing. But when you throw logic and rationale out the window, all for the sake of Texas, that's when it get crazy for me. D-Ray said Omaha, Nebraska in the ring right now. Jim, salute. Indeed. Walter Tran said Kenny bet on Crawford in the 10th. I don't know if he did or didn't, but Crawford did hit Sean Porter and he hurt him. Now, I would say this. Sean Porter hurt is different from everybody else hurt. That motherfucker could take a punch. And he got a strong chin. Because Sean don't give a fuck what you throwing at him. He's still coming. So I give mad props to him. And he probably about the only welterweight that I can say that about. Sean, you can hit Sean with some big shots that don't get him off your ass. So for Sean to be hurt, and he was hurt several times in that fight with Crawford. Y'all remember when he hit him in the chest? You can hear that shit. Bow! He stopped. He paused. Like, whoa, let me clutch my pearls. Let me catch my breath. Who does that? Who has done that to Sean? Who has knocked Sean down twice? And one of y'all said it. He was shaking getting up. Which one of y'all said that?
That was probably bold.
Nah,
But that last,
that's somebody in the comment section.
Oh.
But that last gut punch was crazy. Even the way Sean folded up, that was wild. You could tell, yeah, you could tell that hurt. Kenny made the right decision. It wasn't gonna last much longer.
Yeah, yeah, and
But
that's what we do.
according to the Spence fans, Bud struggled more in that fight with Porter than Spence did.
I didn't see that. I saw Spencer Porter, and I'm being honest, go tooth and nail. And if Sean didn't drop, I really don't know how they was gonna call it. I really can't say. But that was tooth and nails. I didn't see that with motherfucking Sean and Bud. I saw Bud handle him start to finish. That's what I
You,
saw.
you know why? Because I think the casual fans, they don't. A lot of times they don't see what's going on, and I don't know. I feel like they definitely not watching the fight back twice. Because when you do that, you realize like, oh, okay, he's
This,
not he's not struggling, and considering he's just downloading the data, he's doing a damn good job of managing the fight.
yeah. D-Ray makes an excellent point, you guys. He says, should Bud Crawford, pound for pound king, have to fight in Dallas? Here's the thing. I hope he don't. And this is why. They need to be on neutral grounds. I'm not mad at Spence having the upper hand, because he do. He got the 3 belts. I give that to him. But fighting in Dallas is not the business. That is not going to be... That's not profitable. You, in my opinion, and I don't know how Bud would feel, so I'm telling you guys, it's an opinion. I don't think Bud would want that, because you gotta think Bud family shows up all the time, and Spence fans have shown that they don't mind laying hands on Bud and whoever else he with. Now, where they do that at? So I think it should be on neutral grounds. Period. D-Ray, period. Just
Well,
for saying.
they both when they both met up, they both actually said neutral. To be honest, like they was like we could go neutral when they had met up at that time.
Okay.
But the one thing I will say though is, I don't know too much about Nebraska outside of football, pretty much, and in Crawford, but they Nebraska got some hardcore ass fans. Like those fans, like they travel. It don't matter where the event take place at. They travel. Like if it's in New York, they in New York. If it's in Cali, they in Cali. Like they show up everywhere, and it don't have. It doesn't matter if it's Bud Crawford. It doesn't matter if it's Nebraska Cornhuskers. I seen dudes from Nebraska that was in MMA, and they fan base comes out. So they got a diehard fan base over there.
That's good, but I ain't never seen them get crazy in the audience trying to fight the opposite side.
Oh,
And
nah. They just they just come out and support pretty much.
right. When I was at the Wilder fight, I always tell this story. This last Wilder fight back in October, I was knee deep in enemy territory. I was kind of hesitant about me popping my collar, because people like to talk shit, swallow spit. I was surrounded by Europeans. They were the nicest fans I ever saw. I have to say that. They were fair. They even said in that 4th round, they said, hey, he didn't beat the count, but the referee didn't call it. What, I'm going to be mad at the fan? No, I'm not going to be mad at the fan. We shook hands. We all hugged. Beautiful experience. That's how it should be. But if you go, I'm sorry, in Texas, I don't think it could be like that. Maybe it could. Maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse. But I personally don't think it could be like that. So I must insist neutral grounds, as if I can do that, but I can't do that. I don't have a say. But as far as I'm concerned, it should be neutral. And wherever it's neutral, that would be fine. Far away from either one of their states. That way, if you want to come to the fight, you got to travel. And you better be on your best behavior. If you come to Atlanta, them good old boys ain't letting y'all pop y'all collar. I'm telling you right now. And I'm sure it's like that in New York. Well, the motherfuckers don't know about Rikers Island. They better ask somebody. Ronald Finkley said exactly. Same with Spence. When Bud hit the fish, He might not even flop. He might not, Walter. I mean, Ronald. Maceo Golden is in the building. What's poppin', King? Hello, my beautiful queen, Miss Lady T. What's up to you, King? He said, what's up, Bo? D-Ray
Oh,
says,
salute.
split decision with the knockdown. I hear you. This is Rob said their face tell a different story after the fight than that theory. Okay. Walter said, my prediction is Bo Mac throws in the towel after Spence closes Crawford eyes. I hear you, King. We'll see. D-Ray said, say what? Maceo said, hell no. Ronald Finkley said, at Walter Tran, sounds good, but I doubt it. D-Ray said, Vegas, what is that, MV Raiders? The Vegas Nevada Raiders? Yeah, they do got a new stadium out there. And D-Ray said they travel. Ronald said Spence been lumped up several times. He has. His face looked horrible after the Porter fight. Bud didn't. Hold up, Star. Did you say 2 long counts for Fury? He did. I said one, like that second knockdown took him 17 seconds to get back up. 17 or 15. That's more than 10 to me. So I got Wilder winning the first and third fight for sure. But it didn't work that way. It didn't work that way. Did I get emotional? I'll admit to you guys, I got emotional. I teared up a little bit. But by the time I walked from my seat to outside that arena, I was good. I was okay. It's just a fight. You be passionate about it, you be into it, but it's just a fight. Same way if Bud lose, I might be hurt a little bit, but it's just a fight. Life goes on. They are both excellent fighters, and we can't wait to see them. But I've been at 2 hours and 16 minutes, so I'm going to close it down, and I'm going to go out to Lightspeed. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, hey, just thanks for having me. Peace to Bold and to all these to the fans. I ain't gonna say Spence fans, Bud fans, but I'm just say stop fanaging, and that's how the fight's gonna happen. It's really gonna be what people determine. If we stop talking about all these detractors and all those stupid things that people's narratives that people's trying to put in the way to fight, then the pressure will be on. It's gonna have to happen.
Exactly. Thanks for coming in. You're welcome anytime. Do drop in. Everybody hit that like button, please. Please hit that like button. And if you're watching me on replay, leave a comment under the YouTube that you're watching me under. Leave a comment so I can know how you feel. I am open-minded, but T gonna be T. Bo, do you have any closing statements?
Yes, great talking to you guys on the panel. Great topic. Definitely looking forward to the next one, and salute to everybody also in the chat as well. And with that being said, peace out.
Thank you, everybody who joined me. Thank you, everybody who hit like and subscribe and everything. Remember, if you already subscribed, you don't have to subscribe no more. You locked in, and I come on Monday through Friday, unless I'm out of town or unless I'm sick or something like that. I'm here all the time. This is Rob said salute. Ronald Finkley said peace. Thank you guys for joining and everything. Until I see you next time, peace.